Okay? And that's with 83 kids. All right? It's 6 minutes down the. What the freaking.
Oh, Jesus, that's a big surprise.
That's a big downgrade from Eric Vogel on Pete Duke's.
No, Jesus.
Never mind. Just upgraded. We're good. What's up, buddy?
How y'all doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
Hey, tell about when I called you, bro. What did I call you about?
Oh, you and what I haven't told you, Richie, Wojo actually beat you to the punch.
Screw you, Wojo.
He had called me like, I was actually on the phone with Wojo still, and he's like, oh my God, you won't believe what happened.
All right, where's the remove button? Can you remove Wojo from this meeting? Dirty crap! Don't want to hurt him!
What's up, everybody? I'm Richie B from Banter with Richie B.
Hey, this is Ernie Pack. We're Pac-Man Paranormal.
Hi, I'm Eric Vanderlaan from War Party Paranormal.
I'm Jay Lynch from Dark Realm TV.
Hey, this is Joe Kudo from Dark Realm TV.
What's up, strangers? I'm Scary Gary.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? The Squatch Man here.
Hi, this is the Wojo.
Hey everybody, I'm Jason Schneider from LEP Productions and the Dark Realm TV Network.
Hey guys, my name is Sarah Sophia from KUWS.
You're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
Yeah, don't forget to tune in to the Animals Podcast. You won't be disappointed.
You are now watching the Animal Podcast Show, so stay tuned.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show. So there.
Watching the Animal Podcast.
And you're watching the Animal Paranormal Podcast. Let's go.
Boom.
We are not alone in this world. We are being watched. Join me on Animal Paranormal Live.
Hey, this is the ghost host Sophia Temprelli, and you are watching the Animal Podcast Show.
Online, digital, and on your smartphone. It's time for your favorite host.
Yo, what's up? Here on the Animal Podcast Show live. I am your host, the animal, the only one animal here on a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for joining me. We have an amazing show tonight for you, and we got some drone news here about the new UAP stuff going on here, but how's it going, everybody? Please follow me here on the Animal Podcast Show on YouTube. Please go on YouTube and check me out and subscribe, literally. Hey, Damien, how's it going, brother? Hey, Patrick. Hey, AC, how's it going? Guys, yeah, check me out. Go on YouTube and please subscribe. I would love the love there because, yeah, trying to grow my YouTube page. I want to get to that 1,000, so, yeah, check me out. So, yeah, also I'm also on X, so Animal Podcast Show there. Animal Podcast Show. The thing in the link there in the bottom is wrong. I got to change that. It's actually Animal Podcast Show for YouTube. But how's it going, everybody? Good. I got an amazing guest here, Nathan. But let's do some a little animal news here. We got some UAP news with these drones going on in New Jersey and New York. Let me read a little thing here going on before I share a video. It says, As local, let's see if I can get this here. Sorry, please forgive me. My computer's being a little weird. But there we go. As a local mayor's meeting with a New Jersey Homeland Security official says, a starting admission comes from the FBI as they continue to look into these mysterious drones. Testimony from the top FBI officials seem to contradict repeat assertions from state and federal officials that these drones pose no threat. At this time, the FBI does not know who is behind the drone invasion of New Jersey. So, pretty interesting, all this stuff that's going on. But I want to show a little video here now that we're talking about UFOs before I invite my amazing guest here. Well, if I could find it. Where we go. Let's check it.
These are large drones that have been seen flying over parts of New Jersey since Thursday.
Some were described as large as like an SUV, had blinking lights on them.
Neighbors captured videos and photos as police investigate who's behind this and why they're being flown over areas like Cherry Hill, Mount Laurel, Medford, and Evesham Township.
I wouldn't like to know that, they're spying on you, because I don't know how much they can see into your house, things like that.
And it's not just happening in South Jersey. Drones were also seen flying over electrical transmission lines and police and military installations in Central and North Jersey. One drone was seen hovering over the Trump National Golf Club Philadelphia in Pine Hill.
Just trying to find out if it's anything nefarious, anything suspicious going on.
As neighbors wait for answers, Governor Phil Murphy posted on X saying he's met with state and federal Homeland Security officials to discuss the drone activity.
This isn't just a joke. We're in front of Congress talking about this. Yeah. The breakdown of the different UAPs. So there's like the sphere, the orb, and then it says the triangular UAP, arrowhead, and irregular organic, which they said it looks like a brain with arms, like the jellyfish thing. Yeah. It's not a one-time occurrence. Like these are all very much reported on. They have footage, thermal, radar, all that stuff. My opinion, they're setting the stage for a potential attack. But what I thought was crazy, remember in 1561 in Nuremberg, Germany?
Yeah, the UFO war.
Well, the UFOs that they described is every single one on this list. The one that stuck out to me the most was the arrowhead one. 1561. Let me just read this from the Nuremberg thing real quick. Quote, many men and women of Nuremberg saw an aerial battle out of the sun, followed by the appearance of a large black triangle object and combatant spheres falling to earth in clouds of smoke. The witnesses observed hundreds of cylinders and other odd-shaped objects that moved erratically overhead. It's the whole list.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's terrifying.
So yeah, a lot of UAP news out there. These drones, mysterious drones, popping up above people's homes. So yeah, pretty crazy. A lot of people are saying to shoot them down, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment out there in the comment section. I'm about to invite Nathan here. I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat room. Hey Morgan, hey Patrick, hey Damien. But yeah, let's invite Nathan to the show. So let's check it out. What's up, brother? How's it going?
How you doing, man? I'm doing well, brother. I appreciate the invite to come on the show and chat. Man, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a great conversation.
Oh, heck yeah, man. There's so much good stuff going on in this world. And I mean, we could talk for hours, but I know I only have an hour. But definitely, bro.
In the second video you showed there in that clip, I'd like to point out that completely left out the cigar-shaped UFO.
Yeah, there's also an alien with there's also a spear with technical whatever they call them. But
tentacles?
Yeah, tentacles. Yeah, there you go. I had a tongue twister there. I can't really talk today, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us on Animal Podcast Show. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Damien. Yeah,
I am honestly, I'm humble for the invitation, man.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. If they were invading, they would have done it years ago before our technology leaped forward. Apparently they did. I don't know. They're saying that like back in Germany, I think it was like I can't remember what date it was, but there's actually written documents of an alien invasion war. Look that up for me, Damien, if you can, but it's pretty interesting stuff. I just saw that today. But yeah, definitely, man. Nathan, what's up, brother? How's it going? We'll be talking more alien stuff, but I wanna talk to you and get to know you more and see what you're all about. Well, why don't you tell everybody here of what your journey is and where you're from and what you do?
So, I'm Nathan Elwell. I am currently residing in New Hampshire. I am the founder of the Newport Paranormal Society as well as the Southeastern Ghost Research Association in Alabama. I have 17 plus years in the paranormal field researching all aspects of the paranormal, everything from ghosts to cryptids to UFOs to even spontaneous human combustion. I research everything that is considered unknown. I utilize my skills to go on TikTok and find videos, or people share me videos, and I debunk and decise them and kind of like dissect them and break them down to where I can explain exactly what's going on in the video. So I'm not always able to do that. There are a few that leave me stumped, but it's not very common. I also have a YouTube channel where I download and test paranormal applications, and I tell you which ones possibly work and which ones don't, which is actually the premise of my book that's coming out in 2025, which is called Downloading for the Dead, Investigating Paranormal Applications.
Wow, that's awesome, man. You're coming out with a book and everything, man. That's really good stuff. I need to
Yep.
write a book one day
The
about
book has been a little difficult, man. I was going through a publisher and they wanted me to cut it in half and section it out. I'm like, I can't do that. I wrote the
Yeah.
book as one cohesive unit. That's how it's meant to be. If I do that, I'm gonna have to write a whole new ending and a whole new beginning for a book I never planned on writing to begin with. So right now, I think I'm gonna go the self-published route through
Yeah.
Amazon KDP and just
Mhm.
kind of see where it goes.
That's awesome, man. Definitely do it. Oh, what did Damien say here? Damien knew about the alien Arctic battle, Second World War, where a giant Nazi armada was dispatched, and so did us in the UK Navy armada, where cylinder vessels leaped the sea, shooting beams of light. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah, that's at least that's the one they're talking about. But anyways, I'm getting distracted by UFOs.
Hey, you're good, brother. You're good. Let's go where the conversation leads, man.
But anyways, brother, that's awesome, man. Writing a book and all the stuff. What's your most experience like with Bigfoot and UFOs? Like, have you had any like really crazy experience with them? Because I know a lot of people are relating UFO when there's UFO activity, there's Bigfoot activity. So I've always wanted to ask that question to somebody, especially to my last guest, but I never got to. But I'll ask you because I know you do both. Do you ever feel like they're like one of the same or separate entities, or why are they so correlated together?
So you have that theory out there going on. It's really taking traction now that Bigfoot is quote unquote an interdimensional being, right?
Yeah.
So what is it the plausibility that
Yeah.
Bigfoot is not an interdimensional being? He's an alien that just takes the form that we're not used to because we're used to seeing, grays and other things in movies, right? So maybe Bigfoot is a furry alien. I mean, realistically, we don't know. We've never found the corpse of a Bigfoot, so that either means A, they're eating their dead and leaving the bones somewhere else. B, they bury their dead similar to the humans. Or C, there is no body to find because they can teleport to somewhere else that is unknown to us.
Yeah. I was always thinking like the technology of like cloaking, like I've always was told like, can Bigfoot cloak? And I'm thinking because people are like, why are they so fast? Could they cloak themselves? And maybe that's why we don't see them and that's why they disappear like in an instant. But
You know,
I don't know.
it's an interesting thought. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe they're not actually furry at all. Maybe they're wearing some kind of alien-made suit that
Yeah.
looks furry, like similar to our ghillie suits when we're hunting, right?
Yeah.
And they're wearing like a furry-like suit that has an ability that we're unaware of. Until we capture an actual specimen, there's really no way of telling.
Yeah. It's hard to tell I was just reading an article about I think it was Dogman or so I think it was Dogman about how Dogman the government
Yeah,
knows about
Dogman.
Dogman and all that stuff, and there's a whole conspiracy about it that they're hiding him and that they created him and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on that? Maybe they could have created Bigfoot. I don't know. Did the government create Bigfoot?
My thoughts on that is I have left so many paranormal groups because people are dead set on dogmen, right?
Yeah.
I see these photographs of tree branches.
Yeah.
I don't see anything here. And when I say I don't see anything, well, how do you not see the face? No, what I see going on here is pareidolia. Your mind is formulating a face that isn't actually there within the tree line because your mind's trying to make sense of the outline of all the leaves, the trees, the background.
Yep.
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty interesting stuff, and we could talk about that all day and stuff like that. But it's with Bigfoot, it's pretty interesting because like we see prints, right, all the time. We see tree structures, we see hair. Now they're saying that they found DNA of a Bigfoot and stuff like that. Now the DNA stuff, they're saying it, but I don't know if it's true. But it's things that they're talking about is kind of like skeptical, like the whole UFO thing. Is the whole UFO thing real, or is it just somebody playing around with toys? You know what I mean?
So next year, I actually will be going on a Bigfoot hunt because my uncle, who was a devout Christian, he used to be a pastor. He would not lie about anything, right?
Yeah.
He thinks he's got a Bigfoot on his property. And he literally brought me not this Christmas because he didn't come up this Christmas. Last Christmas, he brought me a plaster cast of the footprint.
Oh wow.
And I have to say, it's fairly convincing, and I do not see him as the type to try to create a situation that does not exist, given his faith. He was embarrassed to even talk to me about it because he does not believe this creature exists.
Well, it's funny that when you say pastor and stuff, because I had an argument with my friend who's a pastor too, because I'm a Christian, and we had a lot of people don't know about Nephilim. I don't know what if people know what Nephilim is. They're giants or / maybe Bigfoots. So like that could have been the Bigfoot back then of that time. We don't know, but like a lot of people like say, could they be Bigfoots or could they just be giant people with a lot of hair?
Right.
We don't know, but other than that, it's just pretty interesting about the conversation because I would have an argument with them and we would like argue, like, oh no, it's a Bigfoot, no, it's a giant, and sometimes I just do it just to piss them off. It'd be so funny.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I like to piss off my pastor friend, but
yeah, so
but
he said that him and his son were sitting in the trailer and they were getting ready for bed, right? And they started hearing this noise on the outside of the trailer, similar to what you would hear of a rock being thrown at a tin house. Because let's face it, Bigfoot reports they like to throw rocks. So he was hearing that noise. And then he heard what sounded like a really loud bang on the side of the trailer, like someone ran out and hit it.
Wow.
Now, he doesn't own guns or anything because he's a non-violent guy.
Yeah.
But I got to give him his credit. He's got a sack because he opened the door and went outside anyway.
Yeah.
And he said he saw what he could only describe as something about 7.5 feet tall, covered in fur, running into the woods. And he's a carpenter by trade, so he had some plaster of Paris on hand.
Yeah.
He knew what I was into. He ran outside with a flashlight, started looking for footprints.
Huh.
He found a fresh footprint, and he casted it.
Wow.
So I have no doubt there's something interesting on that property. And I have full plans on going out there after the winter's over because I'm not freezing my ass off, okay? I'm going to go out there after the winter's over and look into this. Because his son said the same thing. His son calls me on like a bi-daily basis saying, oh, I experienced this. I was in the woods and I heard what sounded like a wood knock. I heard a howl. I mean, they got some stuff going on. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but my whole thing is I'm not going to go out there by myself either because that's just stupidity. I don't know if this thing is violent. I don't know, I don't know the nature of a Bigfoot. I know they're shy.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take a chance on getting attacked or like that guy in Arkansas claimed, kidnapped and held his Bigfoot sex slave for like a week. Yeah, I'm not taking that chance.
That must have been interesting if that ever did happen, but it probably didn't. But
it probably didn't.
Hey, well, Joe, what's up, brother? No, that's pretty interesting. It's like my parents' property. They live way up in the sticks, up in northern Florida, and they actually have some Bigfoot I think it was when they first moved there. I found a print. It was an older print, but it was a pretty good size, and I casted it. So during this Thanksgiving, this was months after I found this print. I was like, you know what? A lot of people have this thing called a gifting chair and stuff like that, or a gifting bucket, to give a gift to Bigfoot. So I was like, you know what? Let me put a bucket in the middle of the woods because my parents like nothing but trees and woods. So there's nothing out there but animal life. So I put a couple apples out there, and I think that we left that day, and my parents said one apple was taken that night. I think it was like around 11 o'clock midnight. Um, and my dad went out there and saw footprints, the same footprints, but like deeper impressed right near the gifting bucket. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. So take a picture of it. So he took a picture, and it was like, you could see the impression. I have pictures of on my Facebook page. You could, if you flip back a little bit, you could see them. But
no, I definitely will have a look.
Yeah. So the next day, I was like, well, let's see if he takes the other apple, and he did, and another fresh footprints came on. So I was like, oh, this is weird. So we did it the next day, and more. It just kept getting more and more. It's there's some activity going on. Some people were like, oh, that got to be a raccoon. I'm like, a raccoon's foot does not have big feet. Like, oh, it's got to be. I'm like, it's got to be a bear. I'm like, if it was a bear, I know it would be a bear. And plus, the people around there said they haven't seen a bear in a long time, so I don't think it's a bear.
And plus, I think if you've seen the tracks, bears have a very distinctive footprint.
Oh yeah.
So to confuse a Bigfoot track or any other track for that matter with a bear, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I apologize.
Oh no, I was just looking through the comments here, just make sure everybody's up there. But no, yeah, it's very interesting though, these footprints and stuff that we're finding, and it seems like more and more each day. Like my friend Wojo and Richie B, they just found a huge ass footprint up in New England. I think it's up in the Massachusetts area. But yeah, it's crazy, and more Bigfoot action happen all the time. So yeah, it keeps happening every day, and it's really interesting that more of this stuff is happening like that. UFOs, everything just popping up at once. The paranormal is even going crazy out there now. Like my house is haunted, and it's been ramping up like crazy. So just a whole bunch of crazy stuff's been happening. I don't know if it happens in your area a lot, because I know you were telling me you're right next to a cemetery. So do you have like any stuff that happens in your like room, since your room is like directly like right next to a cemetery? We'll talk about that.
Actually, about 2.5 weeks ago, I had about a sleep paralysis where I woke up and saw a figure standing next to my bed. But I know this house is haunted. This house that I currently live in was built in 1856. It's a farmhouse. So I've only lived. I moved here with my parents, and I lived here for, I think 5 years, and then I met my now ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, and ended up having to move back home after we separated. So the house that I lived in with her was haunted as well. That was built in 1909. Like every house up here is really old in the area that we live. If you go downtown, every single business has a historic marker on it.
Yeah.
So you got to think about it like this. Why do people go to Gettysburg? You have an answer?
Well, to see all the historical stuff that went on.
Right. But if you're into the paranormal, you go there because the blood from the battle stained the lands and left that residual energy, right?
Yep.
If you have a house that is built over a century ago, then you have to think all the memories that people had within that house are imprinted into the walls the same as they are imprinted into the battlefields of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
So there's not a house up here that probably does not have some form of activity, whether or not the residents realize it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. You live in a farmhouse. That's awesome.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome. I would love that. I would love that.
I hate the Wi-Fi in my room. Half the time I get Wi-Fi, half the time I don't.
I bet you don't have really good insulation though. That's the only thing about it. Probably gets really.
It could be better.
Yeah. I know back then they probably did have really great insulation.
So fun fact. I know we're not even getting on the topic of serial killers or anything, but we have a hallway separating mine and my brother's bedroom, right?
Yeah.
There's a closet there that was supposed to be a renovated bathroom at one point. You could tell because they put tile floor down. And there's piping coming up, like they were going to run a bathroom to the upstairs.
Yeah.
Me and my brother got bored one day and peeled back the linoleum, and we found nothing but newspaper clippings from a person known as the Sugar River Killer.
Huh.
So the Sugar River Killer dumped his bodies 10 minutes from where I live on the Sugar River.
Wow. Damn.
Why all the newspaper clippings about the killings underneath the linoleum in our house?
Could have happened there?
I don't know.
Oh man, that'd be interesting to
creepy.
know. It is creepy because it could have been someone who'd been attacked and they hit it. It just, or I don't know. It's pretty interesting stuff. That'd be good to look into. It's pretty interesting.
I've tried, but they never caught the guy.
Oh, they never caught him.
They never caught him.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Hey Jay. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Man.
I know they kind of went off on a tangent there, but I just thought it was an interesting thing to throw out. So
No, that's pretty interesting. What places up there have you been investigating lately? What else you've been doing with your experience?
I've been to America's Stonehenge in Salem, New Hampshire.
Oh wow.
Amazing place if you've never been. Yep. If you come in the area, let me tell you, it's at least worth going to visit. I've done America's Stonehenge. I've done the Robert Frost farmstead. And if anyone out there doesn't know who Robert Frost is, he's one of the most famous American poets in history. I've done the USS Salem battleship.
Yeah.
That place was amazing. I have done the Medfield State Hospital in Medfield, Massachusetts, which is actually where Shutter Island was filmed.
Oh wow.
Shutter Island was filmed there. There was another horror movie called The Box. Part of the John Dillinger movie that recently came out was filmed there. Like that place is very famous.
Yeah.
I've done that. I got a lot of stuff going on next year. So here's the thing. I do a lot of residential stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why my stuff may not be as well known as other people you see on YouTube, because I make my clients sign confidentiality agreements. I'm not going to release their information to the public.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. We do a lot of public stuff like that. We do a lot of that too. Like, what was that? My brain is dead today. Been so busy. But yeah, we do a lot of that too with clients and just make sure that.
Hang on real quick, Damien. Yes, all the papers are as they lay. We never remove them.
Oh, so they're still underneath there.
They are still there.
Man, I wonder what would happen if you moved them.
I don't want to find out.
It probably would ramp up like crazy.
I already have a haunted clown in the closet. I don't need anything else.
Oh, I don't do clowns. That's one thing I don't do. Clowns or dolls.
Well, this is a haunted clown porcelain doll, so.
Oh, well, yeah. Nope. I don't. I've been to a doll room one time and I was like in and out, and then I went back in and then saw something crazy happen. Then, yep, didn't do it again.
The doll doesn't. It doesn't bother me. But here's the thing: my brother, he's chlorophobia. Like he is extremely afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
He wants the clown.
He wants it.
He wants it. He's like, I want that in my room. But you're afraid of clowns.
That's weird.
That tells me there's something there that he doesn't need to have.
Yep, and something calling him or
and
trying.
So I take that to heart. There was that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something they're trying to attach or whatever. That's not good.
Yeah, and that's my thought. And let me tell you, like, he's been chlorophobic ever since, like, God knows when. I don't know what gave him this fear of clowns. Maybe it was seeing, killer clowns from outer space when he was like 8 years old. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do remember a funny story where I told him we were going to go to the mall in Dothan, Alabama. And we drove out there and he's like, wait, this is the way to the mall? And I was like, I know. And we pulled into the circus parking lot. I took him to the circus. front row.
Wow. He probably freaked out.
He didn't even go in the tent.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'd be like, hell no. Damien wants to know, are all the papers the same dates or the same week in different newspapers?
No, because the killings happened over a series of 3 years.
Oh wow.
So it appeared to us that some of them were the same dates, but from different newspapers. And then you saw different dates, and it just kind of like progressed. It was a very weird setup. What I can do is at some point, maybe this weekend or something, if I have time, I can clean out that closet. I'll pull the linoleum up and I'll take some photographs of it.
Yeah. That should be
There's a
interesting.
lot there's a lot in that closet, so I don't know exactly what I have to move, but if he's intrigued, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in seeing that too, because that's very interesting. I wonder if like other stuff is like hidden there that you don't know about that's like underneath the floors.
You know what? It's very possible. Let's face it. If you go into the walls or whatever with the age of this house, right? There's a good possibility we're going to find left shoes because apparently left shoes were considered lucky back in that time. If you put them in the walls of a house, it warded away evil.
Yep.
So there's a good chance we're going to find shoes. I don't go into the alcoves, like the little tiny, what I call demon doors. I don't go into those if
Oh,
I can
you
at all
got those
avoid it.
there?
Unfortunately, I have one right next to my bed and I fucking hate it. Excuse my language.
Oh, I gotta see it. Well, where is it? I gotta see this.
Okay.
We gotta see this. Oh, what are those creepy things, man?
Can you see it?
Yeah. You ever hear that thing like move or anything like that when you're sleeping at night?
Every time there's a windstorm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's creepy. Like I'm afraid of gnomes.
Yeah.
You're afraid of clowns. I'm afraid of gnomes. So that's my kryptonite. And I picture those as gnome doors. I don't like them. They creep me out. I go in there as little as possible.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there's stuff hidden in there somewhere. I haven't looked because that alcove goes the whole length of the house going that way. There's another one on the other side of the hallway that goes the whole length of the house, and actually underneath my parents' bed, there is a pull-up spot from the floor for what maybe could have been a dry storage cellar or something.
Huh.
But the house is old enough to be part of the Underground Railroad.
Oh, wow.
And I can tell you that there is definitely enough room in this concreted area to fit a good 16, 17 people.
It could have been a mobster area at the time.
You know what? Realistically, we don't know because it doesn't show up in the regular building plans. Like we've got the blueprints for the house, and that particular space is nowhere on the blueprints.
Wow.
So we don't know what it was used for.
It could have been like back then, like trading moonshine or whatever. It could have
It could have been
bodied.
anything.
It could have been anything back then in the day, you know, trying to hide from stuff, especially from like cops or anything like that. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'd go in there too, Damien. I would just want to check it out, explore.
Oh, I've been in there.
Oh, you've been in there?
Oh yeah. That's how I know it's big enough for about 17 people. And I can tell you that I don't think it's a prohibition thing. I don't think it was that because the house was built so old.
Yeah.
And what I'm sitting in right now is actually the newer addition to the house.
Okay.
So my parents stay in the actual house that was built back in the 1860s.
Oh, wow. So I'm sure a lot of crap going on there. A lot of activity.
We see an old lady that randomly appears. I've caught her on EVP before. There's an old man that we see constantly walking up and down the driveway.
Oh, wow.
I don't know who he is. But you look out and you see this old man. It's not really a farmer's hat. It's more like a fedora. It's not really like, you know how some people describe a shadow person as wearing a fedora? Or the hat man, as they would call it. It's not really that style hat. I can't explain it.
Huh.
But he's definitely an elderly gentleman. You can see all the facial features. And you go outside thinking someone's at the door and there's no one there.
Yeah. Huh.
I've done it multiple times.
Damien wants to know anything under the insulation paper wise.
You know what? I've never looked because I don't personally mess with insulation. I can tell you that at my ex's house, which I visit frequently because I go and see my son and get my son on the weekends. In her insulation there was much newspaper. Like I found a newspaper dated back to 1895.
Oh wow.
But I didn't remove it because it was so fragile that if I had tried to move it, it probably would just broke apart.
Yeah. Half a traffic cone hat shaped.
Negative. It doesn't have that style shape. It's almost like a mixture between a cowboy hat and a fedora. It's odd to describe. Almost like what you would see an Amish person wearing.
Yeah. Maybe it was President Lincoln. No, I'm just kidding.
God, I hope not, because if it is,
Would that be interesting if it was Abraham Lincoln right on that property? That would be pretty dope.
That would.
He probably started kicking people's ass. Apparently, he was like a badass. He would like fight in the middle of alleys and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. People don't realize that like Abe Lincoln was known for being a bare knuckle boxer.
I think he got hurt too, real bad too, and that's what I think. After he got shot, that's what actually. It wasn't the shot that killed him. It was because he got hit so much, and that between the shot and the injuries from being hit so many times in the stomach or chest like that, they said that like amped it up a little bit.
Yeah, so the theory is that because of his ulterior activities outside of president, he had so much internal bruising that he wasn't aware of, that when he got shot, his body was not strong enough to survive.
Yeah.
So yes, that it legit is a theory. And you know what? If people say that Abe Lincoln bare knuckle boxed, you know what? More power to him. That makes him more badass, in my opinion.
Yeah, we don't have presidents like that these days.
No, let's face it. The man had an awesome beard.
Oh, dude, he had an awesome beard, a hat, a trench coat.
Everything.
I would love to have him back as a president. That'd be cool. You know, just have a president like box like people in other countries. Like, let's box. Instead of war, let's box.
As much as I would love to continue this conversation, I don't speak politics because currently we're gonna have a president that looks like a fucking carrot after he spray tans. So, and I don't want to cost you viewers, or I don't want to cost me followers by saying that. Just throwing that out there. To each their own. I respect your political standpoint.
Oh yeah, no problem with that. No, but let's get with the UAP thing going on. These drone things that are happening lately. A lot of people have been showing up on TikTok with these drones that are size of vehicles, and I don't know about you people that are listening right now on the show, but if you guys have any experiences, please let me know and put it on the comments. If you live in the Jersey or New York area, that's been happening a lot. Apparently, it's been happening in Ohio too. I did hear a case where
I've heard that. Yes.
That Ohio now is happening, and watch it's going to happen to Florida. You never know,
dude. It's Florida. Everything weird happens in Florida. Let's be honest.
Dude, we have some of the craziest shit in Florida, man. That's why they call it Florida man for a reason, dude. Like, I'll never forget.
Wasn't there a dude a few years back who threw a baby alligator through a McDonald's drive-through window?
It was a Wendy's, actually.
It was a Wendy's.
But the mouth was taped up. Yeah, it was actually not too far where I live.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. That's still hilarious.
Yeah, it's that, and plus I think girlfriend beat her boyfriend with a burrito. That happened.
Heard about that one. Yep.
Let's see what other I've seen. There's so many dumb ones out there with boyfriend and girlfriends and beating each up with stuff. There was a woman who sued, I think it was McDonald's, because she had one less chicken nugget. And there was another one where they found a finger in someone's chili at Wendy's, and then they gave up. Yeah, and they found they gave out free Frosties for a year. I remember that. That was like a few years back. I remember
that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things like, man, there's so much news that happens here in Florida.
Can I tell you that? I know they have the Florida man thing, but way back in my youth, if they had an Alabama man thing, there's probably two things I should have been on that fucking list for. I don't even know if we should discuss this on the podcast. But I'm gonna do it anyway because we're having a good time. There was at one point in time I went to the Birmingham Zoo and I attempted to ride the hippo.
Oh wow.
I made it halfway up the fence before security caught me and kicked me out. I was dead set on riding that hippo. It was in perfect mounting position. Like it was right next to the fence, halfway out. I could see the back. I knew if I just dropped on it just right and wrapped my arms around its neck, I was going to ride that damn hippo.
Man, could you imagine, man, if you got on that, what that hippo would do?
Oh, it would have killed me.
That hippo is so massive, man. It would have trampled. I know, like I would have even tried.
In my defense, I may or may not have been slightly intoxicated when I had the idea.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I was not intoxicated, however, when I dry humped a mannequin in Dillard's and got banned for life.
Dillard's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Now was this
I did get $50 out of it?
Was this so? This was like a prank or something, or like a dare?
It was a bet.
It was a bet.
It was a bet that I wouldn't do it.
You ever do that? Like one of those things. Like I remember when I was a teenager, going to the mall with my friends, and they would dare me to go into what's it called? What's that lingerie store?
Victoria's Secret?
Victoria's Secret, yeah. They would like dare me to go in there and start wearing the bras and walk around the freaking store. I would actually do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I did do it. I successfully did it because it was fun. You know, when you're a kid, you do stupid stuff. I did a lot of stupid things. I think another thing that I did was what else did I do? I did so much stuff I can't remember. Oh, I was dared to get a tattoo, and because my parents are against tattoos, I got a tattoo anyways of a cross. of a cross. So I was like, they're like, you won't do it. You won't do it. I'm like, want to make a bet? I'll do it. It cost me $60, but I did it.
Hey, you know what? That's how it goes sometimes. Like literally the mannequin incident was they asked me to do it, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm not gonna do that because that's where I buy my cologne. Back then I used to buy Ralph Lauren's Romance, and that's the only place I could get it.
Well,
and my cousin was huh?
Oh, no, I was gonna say the funny part about that was the next day I was hanging out with my friends that night. We chilled all night, and I came back. My dad picked me up at church. I'm like, "Hey, Dad, look, I got a tattoo." And I ran because my dad's like old school military, so he always like threatens like if I got into like an earring or a tattoo, he's like he'll cut it off. He was that.
I assume that did not go well.
No, it didn't go well, but it was too late anyway. So now I got a whole bunch of tattoos all over the place. So it's not
I
a
can't
big
say
deal.
anything. I've got everywhere. Yeah. I can't say anything.
Yeah, I love tattoos. I got them on my leg. I got them on my arms. I got them everywhere. So my dad don't care anymore.
You have all those people out there that don't have one. They're like, oh, I'll never get one. Get one. I promise you.
Oh, you're addicted.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
I actually have a tattoo on my leg that I did myself when I was hammered one night. No, I'm not going to show it to you on the podcast.
Behind doors.
It's embarrassing, but I mean, a majority of my tattoos I got for free, so I'm not going to complain.
That's all. I love tattoos. Tattoos are amazing.
I'm well overdue, man. It's been about 9 years since I've had a tattoo.
That's all. Oh yeah, I just got one from my my stepdaughter. She put one on my leg. It's a Kraken. I can't lift my leg up that high, but I'll have to take a picture of it.
I love it.
But yeah,
so if anyone out there watching this podcast wants to donate to my Cash App, that's my Christmas present. I want a new tattoo. I'm just messing with y'all. I would never ask y'all for money.
Or you can go to my merch store. You can buy a shirt, a damn shirt. So
I will.
Animal has plenty of secrets. I don't know about that. I might have plenty of secrets there, Joe.
Well, hey, look. When we get off this podcast, share me your merch link store, man. I'll promote it on my TikTok.
Oh, I appreciate it, brother. That's awesome. It took me 10 years to play my Ouija board arm. Oh yeah, Damien has a Ouija board arm. It's really
like
cool.
It.
Yeah,
Do you use it? Like, how do you get the planchette on there? Like,
I don't know. You have to like stand still and just go like this. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty dope. I don't know. Imagine getting a Ouija board on your back, tattooed on your back, and like you just lay down anytime you do an investigation, take off your shirt, and people put a planchette on your back. But you have to like grease up your back, and just so the planchette could freaking slide.
So there could be multiple factors here, brother. Like you take off your shirt and you grease up so they could put the planchette on your back. They may not be putting the planchette on your back, man. They may be putting other things. I'm not okay with this.
Could you imagine that though? Hey, what's up, Jay? What's up? But yeah, could you imagine that? Like somebody had wolf hair on their back or squatch hair. They take it off. They had to grease it. And so I know we're getting in weird territory here, but this is the Animal Podcast show, so we talk about anything. But
we already said it goes where it goes.
And could you imagine when you have like 3 people holding that planchette on a greasy back, and it moves, and then your arms are sliding through that hairy back and grease, and imagine the ghost saying, "This is disgusting. Please go away."
that ghost would be like, "Yeah, I'm not into this, guys. Like, I don't swing that way." Yeah, that would be extremely disturbing.
Would be,
but I'd love to see it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would love to see it.
Could you imagine everybody just playing a Ouija board on someone's greasy back? That would be interesting. If anybody's done that, let me know.
I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you right now. If I didn't have a flaming tribal going shoulder blade to shoulder blade, I'd get a Ouija board on my back to see what happens.
Imagine you're like back, like all the ghosts. Like it would be like crazy. Like imagine if you go to a haunted place and like you get attachments everywhere you go because they're like, oh, I want to stay where that guy is. He has a Ouija board on his back.
Right. So here would be my question though. Would they be using the planchette and the people operating the planchette as the conduit, or would they be actually needing to use my physical body as the conduit to move the planchette?
I don't know. Well, our body has natural energy, so
right.
It should be interesting. Well, I want to try that now. I think I might get a Ouija board tattoo. I might have to do that. They might have to have a couple of razors though. The shit. No, I'm just kidding.
I did not mean to imprint that into your head, Animal. Do not do that. Not a good idea.
Animals do sponsor Vaseline. If Vaseline, you hear this, so the company for Vaseline, please sponsor me at the Animal Podcast show.
Do so.
But like, could you?
And you will get a Ouija board tattoo, and I will personally go and test this theory.
Yeah, if you get a tattoo on your back, we need to like do a test at a haunted location to see if that thing would work. Let's see what Damien says. Damien says, I only met one person with one Ouija board tattoo on them, and she is female in England. Oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, now I kind of want to. Baby oil is already ruined.
You know what? We're not going to talk about Diddy, okay?
Baby oil.
Anywhere but Diddy.
I don't know. I lost my mind. But anyways, yeah, baby oil does work. It's very.
It does.
Yeah. It just slides right through. That's what she said. Anyways,
I was gonna ignore it.
You're
But
gonna have like everybody on this is gonna like have bad that are just coming on here. They're like, why did I watch that guy?
What the fuck did we just walk into?
Like, why did I listen to that show? That podcast is so stupid.
Well, you know what? It's not stupid, man. It's people communicating, people having fun, people making connections, and you know what? And if you stay long enough, you can learn some educational stuff.
Yeah, especially with baby
random
oil.
Conversation in between.
Yeah. Could you imagine what aliens would use baby oil for? If they do the probing.
I don't think I like what this went. No, they probably have some kind of like alien form of KY jelly.
Probably. Oh, I don't know. Like, it's just weird. Like, I would honestly love to interview a UFO.
So. Yeah, I can't go there. I can't.
What?
That's just too weird. I can't.
These are the best conversations, Jessica. They really are.
Okay. Okay. So what if an alien, right? Like a gray. Because then when you see them sometimes in movies, they separate their fingers or whatever, and it's kind of like slimy, right? What if they're not using Vaseline. They're using their own secretion as the lube for the anal probe.
Anything's possible.
I don't like that idea. I don't like it.
I don't know. There's been people that have been adopted. I just had I had a couple who were on my show, it was a couple of weeks ago. Really amazing people. And he's been adopted a few times, and I'm definitely gonna have them back on the show because they have so many crazy stories about amazing stories, and they just hit the surface about it. His adoptions. It's pretty interesting.
There has been plenty of great abduction stories out there, though. You have Travis Hall in Texas. The movie, Fire in the Sky was based off of him.
Yep.
So you have Travis Walton in Texas. I said Travis Hall to begin with. Sorry. I used to work with a woman whose husband was Travis Hall. I always say that for some reason. But you had Travis Walton. You have Betty and Barney Hill in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Not too far from where I am. One of the most famous and well-documented abduction cases in the world.
Yeah.
And Betty Hill was a school teacher and Barney Hill was a politician. They were both very well respected.
Huh.
And before she died, Betty Hill told NASA where 3 different star constellations were that NASA had no idea even existed.
Wow.
So if you weren't abducted by aliens and taken to space, how would you have that knowledge? Because NASA didn't even know about it.
Well, the
And
weird
when they
the weird part is they're saying they're not coming from space. They're coming from underwater cities. That's the weird part.
I don't buy into that.
Or portals or whatever they're saying.
I don't buy into the underwater thing. I think they're using. So here's my theory, okay? And this could be an out there theory because it is kind of out there. But you have to think when you go into space, right? How cold is space? Very cold, right? Definitely below 0. If you go into the depth of the ocean down near the Marianas Trench, for example, if you go down to the depths, the bottom of that, how cold is that? So maybe they are coming from outer space, but they're taking an atmosphere on our Earth that is closely related to what they're used to in space. And they're making that their home. That's the whole theory of the UFO in Antarctica and the underground Antarctic base and stuff. They're looking for a home that resembles the temperature that does not match the rest of the world. What better place to do that than the coldest place on Earth and the deepest place on Earth?
Well, it's funny you said that. There was like a whole thing about World War II where they found this base, this hole that's still there that they won't even talk about.
Nope, they won't talk about it.
It's very crazy. And it's like they won't even go in there, or maybe they have gone in there. I don't know. But they won't talk about it. And it's pretty interesting that all this stuff has happened, that they're seeing these crafts like leave it and going back into it. And it's just, man, no, I'm thinking of that baby while I said that. Sorry, I was getting that image in my head when I said going in back and forth. But
I can tell you, dude, like you can have a lot of people on this show and you're never going to have someone on there like me because like I'm a unique individual. I study, I'm weird. So here's the way I look at it. If you're a paranormal, go ahead.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you're a paranormal researcher, an actual paranormal researcher, you research every aspect of everything unknown. That's cryptids, that's ghosts, that's UFOs, spontaneous human combustion, anything that is unknown. As the Webster's Dictionary describes the paranormal as anything that is not considered to be normal.
Yeah.
You have different sects of the paranormal, similar as you have different sects of the church, right? You have your cryptozoologist. If you only study cryptids, you're a cryptozoologist. You're not a paranormal researcher. If you only study ghosts, you're a ghost hunter. You're not a paranormal researcher. If you only study UFOs, you're a ufologist. You're not a paranormal researcher. And people typically get this stuff confused because they see paranormal researcher and they're like, oh, I can call this guy because I had a UFO sighting. No, because this guy deals with nothing but ghosts. So please, if I can give any advice to anybody out there watching this that is in the paranormal community that does paranormal research, label yourself correctly.
Yep.
Because you cannot help someone if you are not knowledgeable on the subject.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely true. Definitely. There's a lot of people in the paranormal be asked about like, oh, what do you know about Bigfoot? Well, I went through a Bigfoot hunt, but he's cool, and then they're all of a sudden professionals and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely like if you don't know anything about it, especially like if you're not a hunter and stuff and don't know the woods, there's a lot of people that will go out there and hunt Bigfoot and they have no idea what's going on in the woods. Like there's bears out there, there's bobcats, there's freaking whatever animal that out there that could like kill you, like put you down. And people don't realize that. And if you don't realize what's going on in those woods, especially at night, when you go out at night, it's very dangerous, especially at nighttime. That's when their feeding is at night. I just saw a shadow. Sorry, I got distracted. But I see a lot of stuff in this room. It's crazy. But
Oh, good. I thought I saw a shadow there myself. That's why I kind of paused for a second. So
yeah, no, but it's but yeah, there's so much stuff out there that are dangerous. That's why you always gotta bring. I always tell people bring protection because you never know what's out there, and you always gotta make sure you're armed, protected. And there's some people that are like paranormal people, and they're like go out in the woods and they get hurt. And I always tell people, I'm like, you can't do that. You got to make sure you're protected well. If you're gonna go out there and if you want to look for Bigfoot, because you never know what will happen.
And that's true. Or you have those people that go out there into what they think are abandoned properties, and then they end up getting arrested for trespassing.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
It's the same. It's literally the same concept. Be smart.
Yeah.
Just because a building is abandoned does not mean it's not owned by anyone. Just because you're on land does not mean it's not owned by anyone.
Yeah.
So be smart.
Oh, 100%. But man, it's already Jesus.
Has it already been an hour?
I know, man. We've been having so much fun. It's like I looked at the time. I'm like, what time is it? Oh, we're gonna go to. We gotta end the show pretty soon. Yeah, we have a couple of minutes left here.
Where in the hell did the time go?
I don't know, man.
I mean, we didn't even get to half of what we wanted to talk about.
I know, it's crazy, bro. We're gonna have to have a part 2. I'm gonna have to do like a 2-hour show. I don't know. What do you think in the comments there? Should I do a 2-hour show? I can't do it today, but I might start like at 7 instead of 8, so I could do 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. So makes it a lot easier.
I'm down. You know what? I'm down for it.
Let's do it, man. I'm thinking about doing a 2-hour show from now on because I feel like with all my guests, I'm like, man, there's so much we could get through, with 2 hours instead of an hour. It goes by so fast when you're having so much fun.
There is, but at the same standpoint, if the viewers really like the guest, it's going to add the intrigue to turn back into the next episode you do. So maybe the hour standpoint is the way to go.
Yeah, true too. Because if you think about it, their attention span. Sometimes people have ADD like I do. So I have big time ADD.
No worries, brother. My girlfriend swears I have ADD. I just think I'm an idiot. So there you go.
I could be both, but
I'm probably both.
Well, dude, why don't you do a couple of plugins on where people could find you and where people could check you out on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever, TikTok. I know I've seen you a couple of videos recently advertising your stuff, but yeah, give a couple of plugins so where people could find you and know where they could talk to you.
So if anyone out there is interested, you can find me on Facebook at Nate Elwell. You can find me on TikTok at Static Voices. My YouTube handle is the same. It's Static Voices. If you're interested in seeing me in person, May 17th and 18th, I may be at the Penhurst Paracon. July 12th and 13th, I will be in Connecticut, but I cannot announce the event yet because I was not given the okay to do so. July 18th and 19th, I will be at the Paranormal Rockdown in Wisconsin. July 26th and 27th, good chance I'm going to be at the Gettysburg Bash. September 6th and 7th, I will be at the Paranormal Horror Convention in Maine. And then November 15th and 16th, I will be in Salem, Massachusetts for an event.
I think I'm at a couple events that you just mentioned. I might be there because I'm doing a podcast tour next year, and I think you just named a couple events I might be at.
Awesome.
So we might be chilling.
That would be sweet. But yeah, I'm going to be all over the place next year. And this isn't even the event. Like, these are the solidified events. Some of them I cannot announce yet. Some of them are in the works. I can tell you that I will be traveling all over in 2025. But if you want to follow my content, you can find me on TikTok at Static Voices. My handle's the same on YouTube. And if you have any videos that you are questioning that you think may not be paranormal, even if you think they're paranormal, please send them to me because that is what I do. So I would appreciate the support and I appreciate the videos.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much for joining me on the Animal Podcast Show. We're definitely going to do this again.
I appreciate the invitation, man. And anytime you want to have me back on, you just ask me, we'll schedule it up.
Definitely, brother. We'll definitely stick in the back room for a couple minutes. We'll talk for a couple minutes before we
Sounds good.
head up. I'm going to play this little clip here about Dark Realm TV, where you could get it on Roku channel, only for $4.99 a month. Check it out. It's really cool with amazing people who started this. You don't want to miss out.
Real quick, for all the people that tuned in and watched and commented, I appreciate you guys. And I love you. I appreciate it.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for asking questions. We had a lot of fun. I know a couple of people that came on late, but you guys are amazing, and we don't want to miss you guys again. Definitely come out again every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss the show. We have a lot of fun on here and have a lot of cool people that ask questions, a lot of good guests. But yeah, thank you, Nathan, so much for coming on the show, and we appreciate you so much. And definitely check me out on YouTube on the Animal Podcast Show. Please click and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow that. I've been kind of ignored it a little bit, but check me out there.
I will push that on my TikTok for you, and brother, there's no need to thank me, man. I appreciate the invitation. I thank you.
Thank you, brother. Well, you guys have a wonderful Wednesday night and have a safe and wonderful warm week. Peace out, guys.
In the shadows, something stirs. A whisper in the dark, a flicker at the edge of sight. You tell yourself it's nothing, but deep down you know. There are things in this world beyond explanation. Forces that defy reason, entities that shouldn't exist. What lurks in the spaces between reality? What terrors await in the realm of the unknown? Dark Realm TV, where the veil between worlds grows thin and the impossible becomes undeniable. A nexus of nightmares, a confluence of the unexplained, all converging on your screen. Ghosts, monsters, alien encounters, and more. Every dark corner of human fear and wonder, where your worst nightmares come to life. Coming this fall, sleep with the lights on. Dark Realm TV.